I'm going to be talking to you today about pensions. We're living in an economy where not that many people start at one job and then retire there. And so when you switch careers, you've got options to do with your pension. Like, what do you do with it? And there's three things you can really do with it. First is you leave it in with the company, and then at a certain point you can start withdrawing payments on that. You're collecting your pension in the future. The second option is you can transfer that to your new employer. My wife was working for the federal government, and then she started working for the provincial government, and we transferred those benefits, that pension over there. It didn't line up exactly. Sometimes you'll get more years of service, sometimes you'll get less, just depending on what you're earning and how much you had before. But that's a nice way to go too if you're staying with a pension. The third option is you can take the commuted value of it, or the sum of the future payments, and transfer that to a locked-in retirement account. And so I'll just go over the commuted value. Commuted value is really a fancy way of saying the sum of the future payments today. And so they use a formula with a discount rate, they call it. And so $1 in the future is going to be worth less than $1 today. And so they use the interest rate of the time. And the interest rates kind of work like a teeter-totter. So as interest rates go down, the more your commuted value is going to be, just because they're using a lower rate to discount these future payments. And so today, interest rates are at all-time lows. And so we are seeing commuted values way higher than I've ever seen them for people working. And I'm doing a lot of reviews for some clients that have maybe been at an employer for 15 years, and they're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars for the commuted value of their pension. And it's quite astonishing. And we're doing a calculation, and this is a calculation you want to do, is to see, hey, if I left it in there, what's my rate of return going to be on the funds? And you got to see, you got to balance off risk, because if you take it out and you invest it, you're taking that risk. But if you leave it in there, what are you going to get on that rate of return? So that's a great calculation to do and see. There are some stipulations with this. Most pension plans don't let you take the commuted value after you're 55. So you want to do this calculation before you turn 55. There's some pension legislation that prevents that. You also want to see if you have RSP room. Oftentimes when you're doing this commuted value calculation, a lot of the funds have to come out through the RSP. So you've got a lot of RSP room. This works really great. Also, if you're going into starting your own business. So if you've been working for a company and you're going to start a consulting firm, well, you can just not take any income out of your company, let it build up, and then take some of this lump sum commuted value out as cash. So there's a lot of calculations to go over with that. If you've recently left an employer with a pension, or you know somebody that's left an employer with a pension, please reach out to me. I'd love to go over some of the strategies we're using and some of the calculations to determine what's in your best interest. I've got a quote from you. This comes from my dad, and he said, "I never worried about money until I had some." I know a lot of you feel that way. Hey, when you're young and you're saving, you're not really worried about money. Once you have some, protecting it, doing the right thing with it is really important. Have a great day.